So you're here because you want to know whether you should or shouldn't release music at this moment when the whole world is going crazy and upside down. If you're looking for a straight yes or no answer, I can't give it to you. This is not my decision to decide for you whether you want to release your music or not, and I don't know if it's a smart idea or not. But I did gather some bullet points and some questions that we should ask ourselves and to think and consider before we decide whether we want or not to release our music. So the concept of the video is that I prepared 6 points to why not and 6 points to why yes, answering to each other. So I'm gonna read to you one con and then one pro to why we should or shouldn't release music. And then at the end, I also prepared you a surprise. So make sure you stick with me to the end. And if you still didn't, please subscribe because I have new video every week. So let's start with the number one thought that we all have. My song will not get enough attention because everyone is busy with the coronavirus. And the answer to that will be, but everyone are at home, online, on social media. So this could be the perfect time for you to release new music because people are sitting at home looking for what to do, looking what can they grab on, because reading the news, you can't do that all day. But on the other hand, listening to music, it's something you can actually do all day. The number two question would be, but everyone is so stressed with the virus, so who cares about my music? Well, the answer to that would be, people need to reduce their stress. People need a distraction from everything that's going on. It's such a hard time, and people often read the news and people watch the news and read all those things about the virus and how everything is crazy. They need a distraction at a certain point, and they need something positive going on. So the same way they're watching Netflix or Hulu or just whatever they're watching, they can listen to your music. They need something positive in this hard time. Thought number three would be, but I don't want to disregard all that happening in the world. So you don't want to be irrelevant, right? You want to stay on top of things. You want to show that you care. And the answer to that would be, you can't ignore the situation, and this is true. But it's impossible to talk only about that. It's impossible to create music only about that. I mean, think if all the musicians in the world right now would write a song about coronavirus. That's just too much. That's no one needs that. So you can find a way to be in the middle of stuff and show that you care about the situation and what the world is going through, but also try to distract people out of it and try to show them that there is still positivity in the world and you can make them happy with your music without being negative about the coronavirus and talk only about that. There is a way to do that. Just find the balance in between. Thought number 4 would be, how can I text people and tell them to listen to my music when I know that everything in the world is going on right now and I don't know who's safe and who's sick and who's healthy and like who is in what situation? I can't just like text people and tell them like, oh, listen to my music. And that's true. You can't just do that because it's so inconsiderate. But a good way to communicate with the people is actually asking them how they're doing and make sure that they're safe and healthy and offer them a little bit of entertainment and distraction and tell them that you are here for them with your music to make them feel better and to make them feel happier, but also ask how they're doing. You don't have to just like text a person that you didn't speak to like a whole year and tell them, oh, this is my music, listen to it. They probably wouldn't because you wouldn't care about them, so why would they be caring about you, right? But there is a way to communicate with those people, and my personal opinion, and I'm offering to you that even if you don't have a music coming out and if you have nothing coming out yet, talk to your friends, talk to people, talk to your listeners, talk to whoever you need to talk to, just to tell them that you care about them, to show that you're considerate about their situation. Ask them how they feel, ask them how is the situation going, and then later on you can offer them to listen to your music. Thought number 5 would be, but I can't perform, so what's the point? And that's true, you can't perform outside. But if you go and you watch my episode about musicians during the coronavirus, you have plenty of ideas to what can you do and how can you still promote your music during the coronavirus where you can't go outside. The card is here and the link is down below. You can go and watch it after this episode, but I will tell you quickly. There are still ways to promote your music outside of the performance and the touring world. It's the perfect time to reach bloggers and radio stations. Perfect time. You can also do watch party, live streaming, a premiere. You can do so much and perform out of your living room your song, and you don't have to go out. If a lot of famous musicians are doing that, you can do that too. And number 6 will of course be looking around you and looking at what other musicians are doing and thinking to yourself, but what if like no one else will release music and I will be the only one that's like don't care about the virus? Would it be so inconsiderate? Or on the other hand, you can say, but if everyone are releasing music right now, wouldn't it be too much if I'm gonna release as well? Well, I have 2 answers for you. And I'm not the only one with the answers, and that's a surprise that I promised you before, but a second before we go there, I just want to say 2 points. So for the number 1 point, and which saying that you don't know what other musicians will do, I will show you in a sec. For the second thing, I want to tell you not to compare yourself to other musicians. It's very important that you concentrate on you and what you are doing. And as much as it's relevant to look around and see what other musicians are up to, it doesn't mean that you need to follow them and do the same, because you don't know if they're doing the right thing. So you need to think for yourself. And as well, you also need to realize that every musician has a different audience. You have your listeners, I have my listeners, and everyone around me have different listeners. And it's never too much, because if I'm releasing a song, it's not necessarily mean that if you're gonna release a song, there won't be enough audience for you. So consider that and think about your audience, your listeners, and if you want to hear a word from the other musicians and see what they're up to, here we go.
Thank you, Vika, for letting me state my opinion on this matter. And these are very difficult times indeed. But I say absolutely yes. We have to release new music nowadays and keep working on new stuff. I've been locked down in the last 3 weeks in my house. But every day I try to work on new projects, and so we can all take advantage of moments like this to invest all our energy in our passion, so we can create new music, spread a feeling of unity, and hope you all are safe and stay home.
So I think right now is the perfect time to create content and to come up with new things. And more than ever, everyone is active. Everyone is on social media right now. So I think this is the right time.
I think we definitely should, as musicians, release new music at this time. I mean, people aren't really doing anything, and it's also good for morale. I think like it's hopeful for people who are sitting at home to have something nice to listen to. And I have my new song coming out next month, which is why I believe that we should release new music at this time.
I think now is the perfect time to go and release new music. This is a good time to stay collected since we're indoors most of the time. In fact, we just finished our new song today.
There's nothing wrong with sharing your music, but you have to keep in mind that most people right now are so stressed out, so anxious, so nervous that it's a little hard for people to want to fully engage in your photos or fully engaged in sharing your posts or sharing your music or creating playlists. I feel like I personally have been so anxious that I'm not paying attention to new releases or anything. But that being said, other artists, big artists, are sharing their music, so I don't see why it would be wrong for us as independent artists to share ours. I just think that it's a time to be patient with our audience because they might not be in a mindset to really invest. That's it.
Hi guys, I'm Jhallih from Brazil, and I think this quarantine time is a perfect time to release new music because everybody on the internet right now, so you can reach an audience you never reached before, get more fans, and earn your money. So be smart, release music.
Hey there. So what I think is that indie artists probably should not be releasing music right now. You will not get attention, you will not get streamings. People are listening to news, watching the news, being with their families, not commuting, and not driving. So you will probably not get as many numbers as you would like.
I believe artists should release music right now. For some, it's their only means of livelihood. And I think as artists, we have to know that we do have to adapt. We can't always stay the same. Also, it's kind of like a sign of hope for people at home that we are putting music out there, that we haven't given up, and that they have something to look forward to.
I believe that new music should be released even in this difficult time because music shows power, it shows expression, and liberates the mind because that's all we have. And without music, there is nothing. There is no hope.
So I just now realized that I never actually gave you my opinion about the subject. My opinion is that I think we should keep doing music, but I do think that we should keep the official releases maybe for later, because Chipi said that and Mikka said that, and I think they're right. Like, a lot of the attention nowadays are going to like the news, and everyone are so like overwhelmed with everything, and music is the one thing, like everyone else said, music is something that keeps him very positive and like happy and gives him hope. But I think maybe we can create music that gives them that hope and kind of leave all the, you know, the more official side of things maybe to later. And we can do covers, we can do live performances of our music, we can do a lot of things with music that will make other people happy and make him kind of like this distraction that they're looking for, but not trying to like kind of, you know, like push this new music on people while they have this whole thing going on. For example, I actually releasing a song on April, but what I'm doing is I connected it to the quarantine, and I'm actually shooting like a music video thing, but at home at quarantine, just kind of to show what I'm doing and the environment and how I'm feeling and everything. And I'm attaching that to the song, which is called I'm Trying, and it's about like how I feel and about everything in this internal world of me. So this is what I'm doing, and these artists think other things and they have their own opinions, but this is personally mine for what I think right now, currently in the moment. But I also took the initiative and asked some people that are not musicians, that just their opinion and what they think is right to do. So I'm gonna attach the screenshots because they're not they didn't send me anything like recorded, so I'm just gonna like screenshot you the answer that they gave me. And these were words from other musicians that are in exact same situation as you, quarantined, coronavirus all over, they don't know what to do, they can't perform, but they still believe in what they believe, and they just told you that. And I promise I didn't tell them anything, I just told them to send me a short video, only with their opinions. I didn't tell them anything, so all what they said, it's what they actually meant. And this is up to you now to consider all those points that I told you and to think whether you want or don't want to release your music. So I hope this video will help you to decide, and I reminded you, if you still didn't subscribe, please subscribe down below. It helps me to grow, it motivates me during this hard time, and I will see you next week.